Assalamualaikum, I'm Aliza Kim and welcome to another episode of Finding Him. Now, in the previous episode, I spoke about the first unit of the sunrise prayer. Now, the sunrise prayer has 2 units. We already talked about 1 unit. So today we're going to talk about the second unit and also about the first Quran chapter that you need to actually work on memorizing. Now, I'm not going to go over all of the steps, so this forces you to go to the previous video and watch it, yeah? Watch the previous video on all the movements. Basically, the second unit is all the movements again from the beginning, so from the standing and the folding of the arms all the way until you're sitting on the floor, okay? So let me start with that. So now after you prostrate, right, 1 time, and then you sit in between 1 time, and then you prostrate the second time. When you come back up, now this time is a little bit different. So you're on the ground, right? So you're like this, and then when you come back up, okay, your hands are still on your lap, straight, yeah? But this time, if you look at the picture, okay, picture is coming up. Okay, now you can see that the right foot is still like this, so the toes are still bent towards the Qiblat, but now you actually want to stick this foot, okay, this is a little bit like twisty-turny. You want to stick it in between your foot and your leg. So you kind of like, you're inserting like this, yeah, and then you're sitting on the ground on your bum. Okay, previously in the first rakaah, you're sitting on your foot. Now you're going to be sitting on the ground. Okay, so just practice it. Now, once you're in that position, now we're going to do something that you need to, it's a recitation at the end, but I'm just going to show you the movement. You want to take your hand, okay, right hand, form a ring with these 3 fingers, form a ring like this with your index finger straight. Can you see? So it's like this. And then you want to put it on your right lap or right knee. Okay, and then you actually stop, and that's when you say Shahada. Now, we talked about Shahada, I think, in the 3rd video. Okay, so if you haven't memorized Shahada, I gave you the easiest version of the Shahada. Go back and memorize that so that, you know, when you're sitting like that and you're just practicing, maybe when you stop, you can just say the Shahada that you know, yeah? Stop and put your hand on your lap, okay? You're almost done. This is second to last step already. Once both hands are in your lap again, now you're going to say the salams. The salams is just, this is the movement. You move your head to the right, and you look at your right shoulder. If there's someone next to you, you look at their shoulder. And then after from here, you look to your left, and you either look at your shoulder or the person next to you. And that's it. Okay? Now, how do you put those 3 phrases that I gave you with the movements, right? So the first phrase that I gave you was Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar is the thing that you say before almost every single movement, okay? So for example, first movement, you're standing with your arms to the side, right? When you are raising your hands for the first time, you say Allahu Akbar. The next movement, actually, you're gonna raise your hands again. You say Allahu Akbar. And then you're going to go down, bend over, and grab your knees. When you raise your hands again, you don't say Allahu Akbar. You say the second thing that I told you. You remember? If you don't remember, go to the previous video. I'm forcing you. Go to the previous video and memorize that. That's when you say it. Okay? And then when you go down you're going to put your arms down. And then after this, you're going down for the prostration. Prostration, again, it's Allahu Akbar. So go down. Then seating between the prostration, Allahu Akbar. Going down for prostration again, Allahu Akbar. And then standing up, Allahu Akbar. So you're pushing yourself, yeah? Allahu Akbar. And then the 3rd statement is when you give your salam. So when you turn your head like this and when you turn your head like this, right? So this is when you turn your head this way, you say, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, the full one. And then when you turn this way, you do just 2 parts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Just practice it and practice it, you know, the movements, those 3 phrases, and how to put them together. Now, I know it can be really confusing. You're like, oh my gosh, so many movements. Okay, here's what we've done. We're gonna make it really easy for you. There's going to be a chart for you, just like how we made the chart for wudu and ghusl, the major and minor ablution. We're gonna make a chart for you, just listing all of the movements. Yeah, so it'll be, you know, raising the hands with a little description, and also next to that there'll be evidence from the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that you know that it's authentic, you know, it's a true movement, and then it'll just go through that whole thing, and also I'll mark where you're supposed to say what. Now, if you can just go and print out the wudu and ghusl chart, laminate it, put it in your shower or put it in the bathroom somewhere, it'll make your life so much easier. As for this one, print it out, put it on the floor next to your prayer mat or next to a place where you're gonna pray, and as you're going along, just glance over. It's okay. You know, you're still learning, it's okay, you can glance over. So you can glance over until you're used to it. Once you're used to it, then take away the paper and keep on doing it until you're comfortable and it's automatic. Okay, so these are things that I didn't have and I want you to have because it makes your life a lot easier. Now what you need to know is the first chapter of the Quran that you need to memorize. Yay! And well, actually, this is something that you have to repeat in every single unit of the 5 daily prayers. So it's really important. Okay, now this chapter is called Surah Al-Fatihah. Surah Al-Fatihah is the first chapter in the Quran. Okay, and basically a tip that I can give you is if you really focus, I've heard this didn't happen to me because I don't have this kind of brain. If you really focus, you can actually memorize in 30 minutes. If you're someone who has a lot of focus, you can actually do it in 30 minutes and it'll be done. And you can say it when it's the appropriate time, you can just say it, you can just practice. Okay, for me, I had to go line by line. At first it was 1 line per day. I think the first 4 verses for me, I did 1 per day. And then like the last 2, it was like a whole week for 1. So however it is that you want to do, I recommend going line by line first. You know, take it easy. Go line by line, make sure that you pronounce it correctly, and you can write it down in transliteration. What transliteration means is you hear the Arabic, but you write it down in English. However you think the sound comes out, just make sure that you can say it in the right way. That's good enough. Remember to try to put what I taught you, the 3 phrases, along with the movements. So if you've never heard Surah Al-Fatihah, try to listen to Surah Al-Fatihah and memorize the sounds, okay? Line by line. So I hope you enjoy this. Surah Al-Fatihah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Hey, I hope that you really liked the video today and that was, really beneficial for you. So like the video, make any comments you want down there, and if you want to, have a written description along with the evidence of hadith of every single movement that I talked about today, it's also down there. But also what's important is you want to subscribe to the DOPS channel, and all of my other videos are also there. So do subscribe, like, share, comment. Oh, and if you want to talk to me, you can always write to me on my Facebook, which is official Aliza Kim. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.